Hey everyone, my name's Michelle and I'm a volunteer with Colorado Wolf and Wildlife Center, but I also volunteer with the Ellicott Wildlife Rehabilitation Center. So today I'm hanging out here with my friend Nate. He's a red-tailed hawk. He's a little bit of an older guy, but he's been calling Ellicott Wildlife Rehabilitation Center home for a very long time. And I wanted to take the moment today to talk about the important work that Ellicott Wildlife Rehab does, because unfortunately they are in a lot of need of help. Colorado doesn't provide any funding for wildlife rehabilitation like most states throughout the United States. Everything that Ellicott Wildlife Rehabilitation Center and other wildlife rehabs in the state of Colorado does is all based off of donations from private individuals as well as the rehabbers themselves. Most of the rehabbers in Colorado actually have to work full-time jobs in addition to caring for all these animals. Now, unfortunately, last year, a very, very big rehab center up in Denver called Wild Bird actually had to close their doors because they were facing the same problems with as far as funding goes. Now, unfortunately, that causes Ellicott Wildlife, which is one of Southern Colorado's largest wildlife rehab centers, if not Colorado's biggest wildlife rehab center, to take in almost 3,000 additional animals every year. Now, even though that sounds like a really, really great thing, and it is, especially for Colorado wildlife, the bad news is because we are all volunteer-based, we're struggling. And unfortunately, if something doesn't happen here pretty soon, Ellicott Wildlife is going to have to close their doors too. And that would be a very, very bad thing for the state of Colorado and our wildlife. Ellicott Wildlife provides rehabilitation services for not only hawks and owls like Nate here, but they also rehab all sorts of wildlife, including small mammals like foxes, bobcats, coyotes, rabbits, squirrels, and of course all the small birds that people find orphaned or as fledglings in their yards, which is a bad thing. Don't pick up fledglings. They're just hopping around on the ground. But I want to take a moment to kind of go through and share some of the other animals that live here at Ellicott Wildlife Rehab, which again, it is a rehabilitation facility. So these animals came from the wild to go back out to the wild. So let's go visit some of the other animals out here. So, as I mentioned, Ellicott Wildlife Rehab serves as a rehabilitation facility for wild animals, with the overall goal of having these guys released back into the wild. But while the animals are here, they receive exceptional care. One of those animals today that I'm talking about is this guy who's hanging out on the wall. He was in the news a little bit. He was actually found at Pikes Peak Community College down here in Colorado Springs. His name is Nacho. All the animals do get names while they are here in rehab, because even though we're very hands-off and they can't be handled and loved on like the animals that we have at Colorado Wolf and Wildlife Center, they still get treated with the same respect that we do with any wild animal or any animal in general. They get those names, they get well taken care of, they get food every day, fresh water every day, but in the end, the overall goal is to see them be freed again. So what I'm here in today, this is a flight cage. There's actually 3 great horned owls in here, 2 of them which are educational residents, and then Nacho, who is going to eventually be released again back into the wild as soon as his wings are strong enough. So this is just a couple of the residents here, but there's a lot more, and we'll go ahead and we'll take a look at some of them as well. Ellicott Wildlife and other wildlife rehabs in the state of Colorado can't find a solution, which again it would come through donations, they're going to have to close their doors. It's a chain reaction. So if Ellicott Wildlife closes, then it's going to flood in the other couple of rehabs that we do have, and they're going to not be able to handle their intake load, and they'll have to close too. So I know a couple months ago, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because we had a video go viral with Danielle and Kikoa, and I'm going to ask you guys to do your best to help make this video go viral, so we can continue to help wildlife throughout Colorado, and maybe get some things changed and get some donations coming their way so they can continue the really, really great work they do. So please share this video. Visit Ellicott Wildlife Rehabilitation's website, which I'm going to link at the end of this video, and do what you can to help these guys out, because Colorado Wildlife, birds like Nate, the permanent residents here, and of course the thousands of animals that depend on rehab to be able to live freely in the wild, they need your help. So this is a special edition of our weekly wolf blog. I hope you guys enjoy it, and again, please help share this video and raise awareness about all the great work that Ellicott Wildlife Rehab does for Colorado's wildlife. Thanks, and we'll see you guys next week.